Natalia. Welcome to my channel. This is Crafting with Natalia, and today I have a cross-stitch whip parade. Yay! So this is very exciting because I've never done a whip parade before, mostly because I've never had enough whips to do a whip parade, but now I seem to have lots of whips, so now I can do one. I probably have too many whips, to be honest, but anyway, it's still not as bad as, well, I mean, not as bad, like, there's a lot of channels that, you know, that there are a lot of floss tubers out there who have many projects, so way more than me. But for me, I feel that I have too many already as it is. For you know, I don't have that much time to stitch, but I keep starting new things, and you know, it's making it hard to finish some things. But anyway, I just wanted to share my whip collection with you. You know, it's a nice point in the year to do it. You know, it's June. For me today is, I think it's 12th of June today. It's a Sunday. So it's a nice kind of midpoint in the year that we can look at our whips and we can have a thing like what we're doing. And I've been thinking a lot about my whips, but my thinking doesn't seem to help with actual doing stuff. But anyway, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you stopped by and you're seeing this video. You're probably already thinking that I'm a bit crazy, that okay, this looks like a mess because I'm not making any sense when I speak. This is normal. So you know, you're very welcome to stay on my channel if you don't mind a bit of chaos, a bit of craziness. We have a lot of giggles here. So if you're a returning viewer, then you will know, you know, already, you know what to expect, and I'm so glad that you're coming back. Thank you so much for taking the time as well to come back to my channel, to see this video, to see my other videos. I really appreciate it every time when someone watches my videos or leaves a comment or gives me a thumbs up. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much, guys, for doing that. So yes, so welcome. I have a lot to get through, and I tend to talk a lot, so there's no point wasting time. It's been a bit of a crazy couple of weeks for me. I've got lots going on. I am getting married. You know, I got recently engaged, and then we're planning a lot of things and then buying things, and it's just been a bit, you know, lots to think about, and yeah, and I don't know, there's just a lot of things happening at once. You know, guys, how it is. So I don't know, my mind is kind of all over the place, but I'm hoping that this video actually will help me like relax as well, and you know, come back to my stitching, to connect with you guys. I think it always really helps me to feel better, to feel like more relaxed, and like kind of, I don't know, it just makes everything better. So yes, so I think I'll just get on with it. I hope you guys are doing well as well. Grab a coffee or tea. I've got tea here because it's going to be a long video. I know this already. So yes, grab a stitchy project or a diamond painting project or any kind of other project, or I don't know if you just want to listen to me in the background as you clean or whatever it is that you're doing. But yeah, but prepare yourself for a long video. Okay, I'm gonna have a sip of that. Okay, so where do I start? Well, there's some things that I know. So basically, there are some whips that I've had for a really long time. I mean, for me, I'm a fairly new stitcher. I only started stitching in, well, I think it was very end, like maybe November or December of, was it 2020? Yes, 2020. And it was just like, you know, I just worked on one small project, and then I worked on another project, which I kind of finished by spring, I think, of 2021. And only then I kind of started like starting more projects, like working on more whips. But I think this is literally like the third project that I ever bought. It was actually my parents that bought it for me for my birthday. This is my oldest whip. So I know that I could start with that because I know where that lies chronologically. Later on, everything kind of gets muddled up. I can't remember exactly when I started what. I try and keep a little notebook of this, but you know, it's it's not that important really when I start things. Maybe sometimes it's better not to know how long I've been working on something. But okay, so my oldest WIP, now give me a second guys, it's a little bit of a mess because my floss got stuck in the needle minder. Okay, there we go. Oh, I should show you what it looks like. It's a kit from RTO. It's called Fairytales Live on the Rooftops. Okay, it's this one. And I believe, yes, I started this one on my birthday, 2021. So that was February 2021 that I started this one. And at that point I was still monogamous stitcher, but I was actually stitching on something else. So I started this and put it away. Then I finished my other project, and then I came back to this one. But then after maybe, you know, a few weeks, I starting other things, and that's when things started going wrong. But anyway, so this is it's a lovely design. I think this is so original, so unique. But I had a little bit of trouble. Oh yes, so that's also what put me back, is that I stitched a fair bit of it. I stitched the girl and the bird and a little bit of the sky and I think a little bit of the buildings. And then I realized I really don't like the fabric. And I had the issue as well. I couldn't actually see the bird on the fabric, which to be fair, I still have this issue of my new fabric as well. So I restarted this one. And then I ran into issue that I was kind of running out of floss, and I had to be really economical with my floss. And then I think I unpicked some of the floss from the other fabric to have enough to finish the girl again. So it was a bit of a pain in the butt, really, you know, to kind of have to restart it, and that delayed me working on this project. And I guess also I got a little bit frustrated. But so then the original fabric was like this kind of gray. It was grey. It was 14 count Aida as well. It was grey, not very nice. Kind of. I think my issue with this is that this is such a happy picture, guys. You know, like it's well happy. I mean, maybe not happy is not the right word, but like it's like a fairy tale kind of thing. Like, you know, she's on the rooftop. She's following a beautiful white bird. She's walking on the roof with her teddy bear. And I feel like it's dreamy, right? It's a dreamy kind of thing. It should be positive. I don't think it should be negative, but having this very grey kind of fabric made it really negative. So I think that's why I decided to switch the fabric. And I found this lovely printed Aida from, oh god, I'm really bad always with the names. Let me see if I can remember. Pulp Stitching Aberdeen. Pulp Stitching Aberdeen is, so I live in the UK. So a lot of things I buy from UK-based companies, because obviously then I don't have to worry about shipping. And so I found Pulp Stitching Aberdeen. They so the lady who owns it, she has some like interesting printed color fabrics. And so I found this one, which I think is candy floss, if I remember correctly, which is like this rainbowy kind of unicorny. It's a very dreamy type of color. It isn't very intense. It comes a little bit pale on the camera, but it's not very intense in real life. It's maybe a little bit more intense than on the camera. Yeah, but it's quite delicate, like quite subtle, right? So here you go. You can see her here. Sorry, I've got my lights on. It's it's coming to an evening now, so I still have a little bit of daylight from this side, but I've got the lights on as well. So we'll just have to going to do best we can with this light. I ran out of time this weekend to film during the day, and next weekend I'm away, so I couldn't be filming. So I was like, this is my moment to film. So this is the light we're having today, guys. But so as you can see, this is her. On my normal floss tube, I normally do these close-up videos where you can see more detail on everything. I think because I'm showing you so many things today, I'm not going to do this. So this is just what you're going to see. So the bird is still kind of hard to see, really. It's still not coming very well, even on this fabric. I find that you can see it better in sunlight. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of the shadow. This is not the best lighting. But yes, so it's kind of hard to see, maybe from far away it's a bit better. And then that's the girl, and I've got some of the, like I've got one building finished and the tree, and a little bit of this house here, and a little bit of that roof, and a little bit of the sky. but I haven't worked on her in a while. I don't pick her up very often, which is a shame. I really want to pick her up. I just keep getting distracted with other projects because I have these things right now that I really want to finish. I have several projects right now that I'm working towards finishing, and I'm kind of waiting to get them out of the way to come back to some of my older WIPs as well. So she's always on the list, but she never gets stitched on, which is really a big shame. But it is a kit. So as I said, I kind of started running out of some flosses. I think I'm fine now, but we're going to have to see when I get towards the end if I may run out of some other colors. So unfortunately with the RTO kits, they don't give you DMC numbers. I think they are DMC floss, but they don't give you the numbers, which I find a bit frustrating. Like, I would really appreciate if the kits producers gave you the DMC numbers in case if you run out, so that you can buy some more. But it is what it is. I could always probably try and match them up to the. I've got a big DMC stash now, so hopefully I could find the right color there. Okay. So I'm just going to put it in my box here. I'm trying to be a bit organized because I've got a big pile of stuff on my table, and I'm never gonna, if I start throwing things everywhere, I'm never gonna find my way around it and know what I've already shown you and what I haven't shown you yet and all that. Okay. So I had another older project, but I actually UFO'd it because I didn't like it very much. That was one reason. And that was the main reason, but also then I kind of kept thinking, well, I don't like ditching projects. I don't like giving up on projects. But then at the same time, I didn't feel like it was a project I wanted to stitch on. I kind of picked it up thinking that I was going to give it, it was actually at the time, now it's my fiance, because he likes tigers, but actually I didn't like that specific tiger very much, and I don't think even he would like it so much. So in the end I thought I'm gonna stitch a different tiger at some point in the future, but I didn't want to keep working on this one. And then even I picked it up from my box and I looked at it, and it actually had like a tiny kind of orangey stain on the fabric, and I couldn't get it out as well, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna give up on this. I can't be bothered because I don't love this project, and I only want to stitch on projects I love. I have so many things that I want to work on. I don't really want to waste time working on things that I don't love. So I decided to let that tiger go, but I have already ideas of other tigers that I'd want to stitch, so there's gonna be a different tiger at some point. But so just to let you know, there was one project that I think I showed in my early floss tube videos, which is not going to come back to the channel. So there's one less WIP, but then I've got many more that I started since then. Okay. So I'm just thinking chronologically what was happening. So chronologically, I think the Modern Folk Embroidery Sal may be the second oldest WIP. Now I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think so. Yes, I'm quite sure. Yes, that this is the one. So Modern Folk Embroidery. This is hard to say. Modern Folk Embroidery Sal. I'm sure you're familiar with, if you're in the cross stitch world, or if you've been on my channel, you've seen it so many times that you're absolutely sick of it. But it was called the Fruit of Plenty. I need to really try and enunciate. The Fruit of Plenty, and it was last year, so 2021 Sal. And I didn't, so at the start of 2021, first of all, I didn't even stitch, well, I stitched like one tiny project at that point. I didn't even know what, like, I've never stitched a big project. I didn't even know like what samplers or any kind of like other styles of stitching. I just knew like these little kits, yeah, like kind of like Russian kits. So, you know, that's the only thing I was familiar with. But I was present on Instagram, I said, because I'm a diamond painter, and I was looking at a lot of stuff on Instagram. And of course, when I started cross stitching, I started looking at cross stitch. And at that point, at the beginning of 2021, everybody was starting to post these pictures of this Fruit of Plenty Sal. And I thought, this is looking so gorgeous. But then also I had no idea, like, I've never stitched on linen. I've never picked my own colors of floss. It was a completely new idea. But after a few months, I guess I started watching FlossTube and I started getting more familiar with the terms. and I just randomly bought myself a piece of linen. I didn't want it to be very big, like when I finish it, and I didn't want to pay too much for the linen either. So I bought a 40 count linen because that felt like I didn't have to spend that much money, and that was also what was available on like I just looked on eBay and I found this 40 count linen. It looked like the color that I liked, and I thought, all right, I'm just gonna buy that. And I had very few flosses in my stash, I think, at that point. You know, I just had, I don't know how many, but I didn't have that many. I had some, because back in the day, I think I did try some stitching in the past, which didn't last very long, but I did have some flosses from that time as well. So I went through the flosses that I had, and I picked the colors that I liked for this project, and I decided to stitch it in 3 colors. So I will try and insert a picture here of what it looks like finished, just in case, if by some magic you haven't seen it before. And it's a very big project, and I haven't gotten very far. So I started it maybe midway, like maybe like May 2021, and then I was moving houses, and I was still working on my Fairytales on the rooftops. Then I starting some other projects, so it never got really stitched on that much. So I haven't even finished the 3rd part, so it's got 12 parts. Yes, I haven't even finished the 3rd part yet. I kind of got a little bit stuck with it lately. I just haven't felt the kind of urge to work on it. You know, there's always been a different project that I'd prefer to work on. So it's been sitting in my basket for don't know, a few weeks now. No, I haven't touched it. But so yes, I'm stitching it in 3 colors, a blue, a red, and a brown. And this is what I have so far. And every time when I see it in camera, I fall in love with it again, because on the camera it looks so beautiful that I can't stop looking at it, guys, honestly. And it kind of makes me feel so sad that I haven't been working on it, because honestly, I love it so much. And every time, so I followed this hashtag on Instagram, and just all these different color versions that people were stitching. So beautiful. I just can't stop looking at them. Honestly, guys, this is such a gorgeous design, but it is quite tedious to stitch. And there's a lot of repetitive kind of stitching. There's a lot of border stitching. There's a lot of filling in. So it is quite, and there's a lot of stitches in it. It's a very big project. Like it maybe it doesn't look as big as it is, but there's a lot of stitching in it. So I did find it quite tiring, and I think that's why I kind of stopped working on it for a while. But I really actually want to, like, it looks so beautiful. Yeah, I really want to come back to it now. But there's always like that, you know, when you see all your projects, like when you show them, like every time I see, oh, I want to stitch on this, I want to stitch on this. So it's like that with every single project. But yeah, so hopefully I'll come back to it, because it is, yeah, it's beautiful. I think maybe in real life the colors are not as intense, but I think maybe it just needs a bit of a wash as well, because it's been kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it's in real life it doesn't look as impressive as on the camera, I feel, but it's very beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so this is 40 count Newcastle raw linen. And what else would I want to say about this? Well, I'm stitching it 2/2. Which I know is a bit, well, I didn't know at the time, obviously, because I knew nothing about stitching on linen. I never stitched on linen before I started this. But I thought you're always supposed to stitch with 2 threads, and so I just started stitching with 2 threads over 2, and I love how you know, the coverage is amazing, and I don't find it too bulky at all, stitching 2/2 on 40 count. So yeah, I don't have any issues with that. I wasn't aware that you're supposed to maybe stitch with 1 thread. So I did it with 2, and it's fine. It really is fine. Okay, I'm just going to put it aside for now, and, well, for now, for today. Let me see. I've got, now this is not chronological, but it doesn't all have to be chronological, is it? But if we're talking about the modern folk embroidery, I've got another project on the go, which again has been sitting in my basket for a few weeks, so I'm really not doing very well with this. But I've got a smaller project from Jacob, from the Modern Folk Embroidery, which is called Isabella's Heart. So Isabella's Heart is quite a recent release, and it's it's a, well, I don't actually know what to say. There is, when you go to Jacob's website, you can read up on all his pieces, all his designs. He does a lot of research when he designs. So I think this is not his original design. This was adapted from tapestry or some tapestry. I don't know what tapestry, isn't it? I can't speak English. Oh, sorry guys. I'm from Poland originally, so I'm now struggling because I've been living in the UK for 12 years. 13 years. So I've been away from Poland for a long time, and I only really speak Polish to my parents and occasionally to a colleague at work, but not a lot. Yeah, and so I don't use Polish that much, so my Polish is pretty bad now, and my English is still pretty bad, so so I feel like I can't speak any language properly now, so my apologies. But so yes, so Jacob, I think this is an adapted design from like a historical tapestry or something else, and he does a lot of research into his pieces, and sometimes he does these reproductions of some antique designs, or sometimes he does his own designs, like the Fruit of Plenty was his own design. This one, I will try and insert a picture here of what it's meant to look like when it's finished. I'm not stitching it in original colors because I decided I wanted to stitch it on white fabric, and there was a white in there, and then I thought, okay, I'll have to change the whites to something else, but then I didn't know what to change it to so that it matches the other two colors, so I ended up changing all the colors, and I spent a really long time trying to figure out which colors to stitch it on, and even now I'm not really sure. But I decided to go for, I don't know, like bright kind of pinkish purple, which is having 917, a light blue, and a deep gray, a 3799. So this is it, and this is what I have. So it's not a lot, but again, there's more stitching to it than it looks. So all of this is filled in, so there's quite a lot of stitches here. I love stitching this flower. I think that's looking really nice. Yeah, and there will be a bird down here, and there's like this heart that's going around here, which I don't have yet. But yeah, I think it's a lovely design as well. This one is also stitched on 40 count because I wanted it to be small, because well, originally I thought I may give it to someone, which I still may, but I don't know, because I need to see if I like it when I finish it, if I want to give it to someone else. If not, I'll just keep it for myself. But I pictured it like a small picture in a small frame. So I didn't want it too big. So I decided to go for 40 count again. And again, because I liked stitching with 2 threads so much on the Fruit of Plenty, I decided to do the same thing here and stitch also with 2 threads over 2. Okay, I think this is, we can put this one away. If I don't say something that I don't know, if you have a question that I haven't answered, then please feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be very, very happy to answer in the comments whatever you may want to know about my projects. If I know it, I will tell you. And if I don't know it, I will tell you that I don't know. But I always love reading comments, and I always love it when you guys have, I don't know, questions or comments, something for me to think about, you know, so feel free to, or you can always also drop me an email, and my email address is always in the description below as well for you to contact me if you need to contact me. Okay, I'm gonna have a sip of tea because I can already feel like, I don't know, my throat is getting funny and my nose is getting funny. Okay, so I may just put it back in here. Okay. Now this is a big project. I'm just gonna show you now because I'll get it out of the way because it's taking a lot of space on my table and I can't see anything else. This is my only Heaven and Earth design, which also I haven't actually worked on maybe 5-6 weeks, which is bad because I really wanted to work on it a lot because it's a big one and because I feel like I will never finish it if I don't work on it regularly. And I also wanted to work on other heights. I actually lied to you, this is not my only height, but my other height is not really properly even, it's barely started, so I even forget that I started it. So my only height that I actually worked on properly is this one. Then I randomly started another one, and then I didn't have time for it, so I kind of put it aside after putting just a few stitches in. So I'm not even sure if that counts as a WIP, but I'll show you anyway. I'll explain. But there are some other heights that I'd really love to stitch. I have quite a few charts in my stash from them. And so you know, I need to get on. I need to do some work on my heights. So this is the one that I'd really love to make some more progress on. It's the Aquarius by Josephine Wall. I will insert the original artwork here, and I decided to go for max colors because I wanted to get the most, kind of the deepest. I looked at the mock-up and I loved the mock-up most for the max color version. Yeah, and I'm stitching it on 28 count, 2/1 10 stitch, just to make it a bit quicker. Yeah, I'm not 100% happy with the coverage. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should think about going to 32 count for case, but I'm a bit worried it's going to be too small. But I may at some point try 32 count just to see if I get better coverage, because you can still see fabric. You know, there's a lot of dark blue colors like in the sky on this painting. Fortunately, the rest of the, like the middle of the painting, I think is quite bright, so I think that won't be as much of the issue. But in the dark areas, you can still see the fabric coming through. But I think when you look from far away, you won't be able to see it that much. But so anyway, so I think I finished one page. Did I? No, I think no, not completely. I think I almost finished one page. And this one, I think this I'm missing this part. And I'm not doing parking. I am doing cross country because I'm using Pattern Keeper. And with Pattern Keeper, because also this is max colors and there will be quite a bit of confetti as well. So I don't know. I get annoyed if I have to like rethread my needle all the time. I get frustrated. So I rather like carry on the thread until I kind of run out of thread, or until the symbols are so far away that I can't really comfortably count or comfortably find them. But it is gridded fabric, so that makes it easier. And so that way I can do cross-country stitching too with Pattern Keeper, and with the grids I can work out where the next stitch is. So you can see that I've done quite a bit of this page here and even went on to these pages as well. And I think that also helps to avoid having like straight lines. That's what I heard, at least from other stitchers. Because I think if you just work in squares, like in pages, then you may have like these lines. But I don't know, because I've never worked on a full coverage piece before, so I couldn't say for sure really. But this is what I have. So just the top corner, right. I'm really bad at right and left, but I think this is the top right corner with the moon. Okay, so I'd really love to come back to it. And again, I have some other heights I'd love to stitch one day. I thought maybe one day I'll make a video of all the things I'd want to start. Yeah, like the things that I have. A lot of things I already have like either kitted up or almost kitted up, or things that I just like I have like charts for and I'd really love to stitch. And maybe one day I'll do like a video of the things I want to stitch. I don't know. Okay, so that's another thing done. Sorry, I'm taking my time today because I don't want to rush it. Like, I kind of just want to enjoy myself, and I hope that you're enjoying it as well with me looking through my WIPs. And because I think if I just rush through it, I'll get so tired in the end and I'll be like completely confused by the end of this. So I'm just taking my time today. Okay, so, well, let's get it out of the way since we're talking about this. Now, this isn't really a WIP. I don't count it as a WIP because I literally, what happened? If you're new to my channel, or if you're not a diamond painter, so you've not been watching my diamond painting videos, you may not be aware that I'm a big fan of Vincent van Gogh, the Dutch painter from 1900, 1900s, I don't know exactly the years. Anyway, yeah, what was I gonna say? Yes, so I'm a big fan of Vincent van Gogh, and I'm a big fan of the Starry Night and a few other of his paintings. And I recently went to an exhibition, like an immersive kind of exhibition that you have paintings displayed on the walls and they were like changing and there was music and there was all sorts of different elements to the exhibition. And I think I was so impressed, like I was thinking so much about his artwork and so excited. And I've been working on Starry Night diamond paintings, but it's been on my mind that I'd really love to stitch something Van Gogh. And I know there are kits, like I think Riolis and some other companies have like Vincent Van Gogh kits, some of these like old masters kits were famous paintings, but I think they are relatively small, even though they're full coverage, they are quite small. And my issue with small, you know, it's still a lot of work to stitch them, but in the end they don't actually look like the original artwork very much, because they kind of, you know, they're trying to, you know, there's only so much detail you can fit in with so many stitches. So I was kind of on the fence thinking whether I want to get one of the kits that are out there. But then I looked on Heaven and Earth Designs website and I saw they have a max color version of Starry Night. I'm not talking like I'm never gonna do super size anything. You can, because I'm never gonna ever have a chance of finishing super size. But even just a normal size max color Starry Night, I think that is fairly close to the original artwork. You know, it already has that kind of feel. You know, it's a kind of, you can see the detail more, and it's just much more true to the original artwork than these kit versions. So I bought the pattern, of course, the chart. And then after the exhibition, I couldn't help myself, and I had this one morning, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put a few stitches in it, but it's literally a few stitches, it's nothing, so it's not very impressive, but but like technically this is a WIP, even though I'm not really working on it, because then I realized, no, I don't really have time for this, so I put it aside. But technically it is started. I will put the original artwork in here. So it's a bit weird. The Heaven and Earth version actually kept, I think because the painting is not actually cut, you know, the original painting, you can kind of see the parts of the, like the wooden, I don't know, like the whatever was painted on, or like the frame or whatever it is. You can see the edges, which are not actually painted. And so they even charted these edges. So here on the edge you can kind of see this, like it kind of looks like skin color, skin tones kind of flows. That's actually that non-painted edge, and then this is where the sky starts kind of, but it's barely anything, so you can't really, like, it doesn't even make sense to me when I look at it. Yeah, but anyway, so it's, in theory it started. In theory it's a WIP, but it's one of these WIPs that I don't really count as WIPs until I actually work on them properly. I have a few starts like that because I was bad recently and I couldn't help myself, and I put a few stitches in a few different things. But then again, I put them aside and I'm like, they're not real WIPs until I properly work on them. I don't know. That's kind of how I think about it. Okay, but back to real WIPs. Real WIPs. Okay, so right here, well, this is just right next to my nose, so I'm going to take this one first. Oh, I haven't seen this one in a while. Goodness me. So this is my autumn project. Well, one that I started last autumn and I didn't finish. And this is the autumn sampler. I think it's, well, it's Otono? I don't know. By Satsuma Street. And it's a cute little design. I'll insert the picture here of what it will look like when it's finished. And I got quite far with it, but then when autumn was over, I just put it in the bag, and I was like, I'm going to come back to it next year, because I didn't really feel like stitching on it over winter or spring or summer. No, well, maybe in summer, maybe at the end of summer I'll start working on it. It's not so far from finishing. So this is it. Yeah. So I finished, as you see, I finished 5 of the squares, and the frame is finished as well. Then this is almost, there's not so much to finish this one, and then it's just these 3 squares that need finishing. This is all DMC floss, but it includes these variegated DMC. So you can see in the frame, for example, but in a few other places, like the inside of the apple, there's a lot of variegated floss in the mushrooms, and in the leaf as well. Like you can see, especially the bottom of the leaf, you can see, and this the middle as well. So actually the leaf is all variegated. Yeah. So this is variegated DMC. So it's a nice little, like now when I look at it after a while, I actually like it more, I think, than I liked it back when I was stitching on it. But actually now I feel, oh, it's actually quite cute. Yeah. Yeah, actually I'm quite looking forward to coming back to this project. I'm stitching it on, oh, I remember, it's the linen that I didn't like very much, so I remember it. It's 28 count Cashel, what do you call it? That linen that starts with a C. I don't know, I have it written down somewhere, I'm sure. I'm sure you know what I mean. Oh, I just said 28 counts Figard, but it's the Cashel linen, I think what's called, and it's antique ivory. And apparently I started it in September, which makes sense. Okay, sorry, I was just checking my notebook for the details, which I can't remember. Okay, so yes, so that's it really. I don't know if there's anything else to say about this one. It's, I don't know, it's a pretty simple little project, a seasonal one. I think this is my only autumn for now, but then I have a few that I want to stitch. Okay. Oh, this is an old WIP. So after I started my modern folk embroidery Fruit of Plenty, then I was going to like not stitch on anything else because I already had 2 projects going. At that point I was like, okay, this is a lot. Now this is funny. But yes, I thought the 2 projects were a lot, so I wasn't going to start anything. But then I was on Instagram again, and I saw this super cute picture, and that was when the Whimsical ABC sale started. It was a sale organized by, designed and hosted by the Little Room in the Attic. And I saw that first, so it's letters with cute figures. It's such a cute little cell. And I saw that first letter and I fell in love with it so much, and I was like, I so want to stitch this. So of course I did. I got myself I got fabric from the same shop, from the Pulp Stitching Aberdeen. Or did I? No, actually no, I didn't. Sorry, I'm lying. This fabric I got from Lakeside Needlecrafts, but it's actually the oh my god, I'm forgetting this again. Fabric Flair. It's actually from Fabric Flair, and it's called Fairy Dust, and so the style is now finished. These actually came free as well, so they were released every 2 weeks, and if you downloaded it within like I think a month of release, then you got it for free. And then after that she puts them together, like letters from like say A to F, or I don't know exactly, but several letters she puts together in like a bundle, and then you can buy them from her shop, the little Room in the Attic. She's got so many lovely designs. It's such a gorgeous, like such a cute little shop with so many beautiful designs. I absolutely recommend that you visit. I'll link everything in the description below, unless I forget, but you can always ask me. But so yes, so the sale is now finished, but I only have 6 letters so far, and seems like I have a little bit of the next letter as well, but but not the full one. So I've got letters from A to F. Okay, so A is for awesome, B is for bee, C is for cat, D is for dolphin, E for elegant, and F for fantastic. That's my most recent finished letter. And then this one is going to be G for grace, and it's going to be a lovely little unicorn. So I've got a little bit of the mane here, and I think this was going to be a horn. And there's a lot of craning in this one, and a lot of backstitch. Yes, if you don't like backstitch, I'm not sure if you're going to like these designs, but But she's got lots of, she's got a variety of different designs, but a lot of them have, you know, a lot of backstitch. I actually really like, I know that some people complain about Cranic, but I've had actually really good experience with Cranic. It's not, I don't love it as in like, you know that sound that it makes when you pull it through the hole, it feels like in that feeling, it doesn't want to come through the hole and it's making that scratchy kind of sound. I don't like that, but I haven't had any issues working with Cranic, other than I don't like threading the needle with it. But other than that, it's been absolutely fine. It's much better than at some point in the past. I was doing this tablecloth, a kind of embroidery tablecloth kit, and I think it had DMC metallic threads, and they were horrible. They were so bad that then I was really scared that here the metallic threads will be the same bad. But actually Cranic is quite nice to work with. Like, I don't really mind it, but I know some people do. So there's a lot of Cranic in this. But I love this design. I think it's so cute. And that's the letter, like when I saw this one, it was first released, I was like, I have to have this one. Absolutely have to have it. Yeah, and then that last letter as well. I'm really looking forward to H. I think H is my favorite letter actually. Well, A, I really love A, but H as well. H is happy. It's like the girl that's, I think she's standing on her arms, actually like she's upside down, I think. I don't know, she's super cute. Anyway, and I like happy. Happy is a good word. Okay, so let's put that aside. Okay, so what else? Okay, another project that I really love, I don't know, but I really like, that's for sure. Maybe not as much as the ABC Sal. So ABC Sal is one of my absolutely favorite projects. Yeah, I think maybe one of, I don't know, there's a few projects that I really love that I have. This one I'm very curious about, and I have very like strong feelings, like I'm quite excited about it and I really want to see it finished, and I'm really curious how it's going to turn up, and I'm hoping that it's going to look gorgeous when it's finished. It's my only Mirabilia that I ever started, and so there's some more Mirabilias I'd really love to try and stitch. But because I'm so new to Mirabilias, I don't even know if I'm actually going to like it when it's finished, because I've only ever seen them like on other people's videos, and initially I wasn't really very convinced about them. But the more I look at them, there's quite a few that I don't know, they look really intriguing, and some of them, like, I don't know, there's I think it's the dresses for me that the folds on the dresses and then the colors on the dresses I really love so much. Not so much their faces. I'm not into, I don't know, I'm not the Mirabilia faces kind of fan, but I love the dresses, and like, I don't know, like sometimes these beads like in their hair or wings or whatever, they're really pretty. So I thought I'd love to try and stitch one. And this was actually inspired by Chris Cross-Stitcher, who did this first Mirabilia Sal when he started his first Mirabilia. And now lately I've been following a lot of other people stitching Mirabilias, and I'm getting more and more interested in them. But so the first one that I picked is the fairy Flora, which is like a beautiful fairy with a wand, a magic wand, and with big long wings. And I love these flowers here at the bottom, and also she's got like these peaches here. I think they look really lovely. So this one's quite different from her other designs, and I got really intrigued by this one, and I thought I'd love to see it finished. I've seen I think Yanni Stitcher, she stitches a lot of Mirabilias, and she's got some gorgeous finishes. Yeah, and recently she did an interview with Nora Corbett. I will link her channel below. But Yanni, she stitched this one, so you can see her on her channel, and she looks gorgeous. But she does these color conversions for the skin and hair quite often, so which are also very interesting. But so anyway, so I am stitching it on 32 counts Murano in some sort of blue. I think it's slate blue. I'm quite sure it's slate blue. Okay, and this is what I have so far. So I haven't really made any progress on it since I last showed it. I showed it quite recently. So I did, one thing that I'm not very happy with is her arm. So I tried doing arm with one thread. So I kind of initially I thought I'll do it 1/1, but then I heard Teresa Little Stitcher saying that someone else said that you can do 2/1 10 stitch, which is much faster. And I thought, okay, I'll try doing skin 2/1 10 stitch, because that sounds like a nice happy medium between the 2/2 and 1/1. And I'm not sure. It's not looking very even. I don't know. To me, it's kind of looking bumpy. And when you look close up, the stitches are not very even. I don't know. It's just, I'm not very happy with the arm, but I didn't want to rip it out, so I left it as it is. And here you can see part of her dress. I also tried putting some beads in, just because I was really curious, because I've never beaded anything and I really wanted to try. So I put some beads on already in the middle of her dress. And I love, the one thing that I love is that color. Well, I call it a color. I don't know what it is, but it's like this part here of her dress. I think it's looking lovely. Yeah, I love the blending of the colors, the way the shadows and highlights kind of, I don't know, the different shades of purple work together. I think it's looking lovely. I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of her dress as well. So yeah, so I don't know what else to say about this one. Yeah, there's some other Mirabilias that I'm hoping I will try stitching in future, but I think for now I'll just stick to this one and see how it goes. And if it goes well, then I'll do some more as well. Okay. And let me just put it back in here. Okay. Then, oh yeah, this was inspired by the Black something November. Was Black Sampler November? I don't know. That was organized by Jacob from, well, it was a hashtag that people were stitching on, but I think it was kind of initiated by Jacob from the Modern Folk Embroidery. It was about stitching something in monochrome, stitching it in black. It was in the month of November. I think that the hashtag was going on for the whole month. And I got curious, and there was, there's been a few designs that I was looking at previously that were in monochrome, and I thought, okay, maybe I could try and stitch something. This one actually is not in black. This one is actually stitched in 3799, which is like this very dark gray. And this is a design by the Ink Circles, and I think it's called Woodland Vines. I can't say this. Woodland Vines. I think that's what it's called. But don't take my word for it. I will try and put it in the description below. But anyway, I haven't stitched on it, I think, since November, honestly. I don't think I've touched it ever since then. But this is what I have. So I just have this corner. So this is one of the corners of a bigger square. And this is stitched 1/1. I believe that this is 25 count. I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. I think this is 25 count. And it's just, I think it's just white or antique white, something white. Yeah, but I think this actually will look quite pretty, to be honest, when it's done. But I'm not very big, well, two things I'm not big on. One is stitching with one thread, not a fan. And one is stitching over one. Kind of not so fun. But well, the over one I can maybe survive, but also the monochrome, stitching monochrome, I think I found out when I was doing that, stitching in monochrome, that I'm actually not so keen on it. I don't know. It's just, I do get bored quite quickly. So I think I need breaks. So I can do, maybe a couple of hours of stitching, and then I go do something else fun, work on other projects for a bit, with lots of colors, and then I can come back and do some more. But then I didn't come back. And I have another one. Let me just show you. So I'll just put this away. So I have another one which I also started in November for the same occasion. That one I got from an Etsy shop, which I think doesn't exist anymore. It was called Cross Stitch Raw, R-O. And this one I did something a bit crazy. That was a bit too much. So I stitched it also 1/1 because I wanted to be cute and tiny, and I had this piece of fabric that I thought would work, but it was a small piece of fabric. It's a hand-dyed fabric from Eva Faith, who's a UK fabric dyer. It's a 32 count linen called Sunflower. And I just had a small piece. I don't remember if I bought it specifically for this purpose or if I already had it for some reason. I can't remember the story. But anyway, I wanted this to be small because actually it's quite a big design, and I thought if I was going to stitch it over two, it was going to be very big. And I don't know, I think it was, in the end, maybe it wasn't the best idea because I had to stitch it with one thread over one on a small count or a high count, and because it's a hand-dyed fabric as well, so it's a bit more contracted, so the count is actually kind of higher. And it was a struggle. So again, I put it aside and I haven't worked on it since November again. But this is what I will try and insert a picture. I forgot to do that for the ink circles, but hopefully I inserted a picture for you to see. But now I'll insert a picture for this, what it's meant to look like when it's finished, which I think it's a really beautiful design. And I have this much. So I have these two birds here and another bird here, and I don't know, I think that's where the tree trunk is, somewhere there, I don't know. So I don't know if you can see this properly. Yeah, I mean, there's not so much to see because it kind of looks just like this. The stitches are so tiny, and I think I was having this issue that they kind of almost disappear with one strand on a high count. The stitches almost disappear sometimes between the threads of the fabric, so they sometimes look a bit uneven, and sometimes it's a bit hard to see what exactly the shapes are. But hopefully, well, I was thinking if I actually ever stitch the whole thing, when you actually see the full tree, it will make sense, I think. But right now it kind of looks a bit weird, I don't know. But anyway, this is what I have, and this is actually stitched with 310 DMC, so the proper black DMC. Okay, and then, so I'm gonna have to have a sip of my tea because I feel like I'm getting blocked up now with my, like, I don't know, it's like my nose and my throat is getting really funny from all the talking I've been doing. Okay, so then this one, actually, I thought initially this was also black monochrome, but it actually isn't, even though it feels right now like it is, and I think that's probably also why I put it aside. But actually this one I'd really like to come back to sometime soon, especially that I think my fiance really loves this one, and I put it aside and never worked on it again, and I think he would like it if I come back to it, so I will maybe try. But this one is actually a very colorful one. It's just that I started with the outline because, well, let me show you what the finished design is. But this is just proposed colors. So there's different color options, or you can completely pick your own color combination for this. And it's kind of explained in the instructions how there are like these different color families, and you can use the different color families, or you can design your own color family to do the filling in. But so I wanted to first finish the outlines so that then I can just do the coloring in and really enjoy that, working with these colors and seeing where they go and all that. But I didn't go very far because I just did the middle. So I just have the middle part. Like, this isn't much bigger fabric, it's just folded together. I think this is just black Aida. It looks like a small one. Maybe it's even 20 count. It may possibly be 20 count. I think it is 20 count Aida, just in white. And so far, yeah, it's only the outlines really that I've been working on, and I didn't get that very far. It's just the middle part here that I've done so far. But yeah, something again to come back to. I think that would be great, but as that's practically full coverage, to be honest, as well. Yeah, so this is something that I'm actually looking forward to coming back to. Yeah, the other two monochrome pieces I'm not convinced about. Like, I think the ink circles one, I like. I think, yes, I didn't say, this one is called Pentatonic by Ink Circles. But the tree one, I'm not so sure about. So for now, I've put it aside and I'll think about it. Yeah, but the Ink Circles ones, I quite like them both. Okay. I may actually just put them in the same bag. Okay. What else? What else do we have here? Okay, so this one I showed on my recent floss tube and I haven't actually made any progress, so I'll just quickly show you again. Well, maybe you haven't seen my recent floss tube, but this is the molecular model by this, from the Steady Thread, which is a black work company. So their designs are all black work, but I'm stitching mine on a red Aida, I think 16 count, I think so. In white, so I'm using the MC Blanc for this one. I think I'm using the MC Blanc or B5200. You know what? I don't know what's the difference between the B5200 and the Blanc. I can't see the difference, and I've been using them interchangeably because I can never remember which one I was using last time. I'm just using the white, and I just pick whichever is the nearest to me. So I honestly don't know which one that is stitched on anymore. Maybe it was the B5200, but then I don't know because I have to continue stitching it, and now I don't know which one that was. But anyway, it's fine. So it's a molecular model. It's called, on the website, it's called medium because they have 3 different sizes. They have small, medium, and large. And because I'm a chemist, I know that this is actually a molecular model of ethane. So this is what it's meant to look like when it's finished. Sorry. And this is what I have so far. I mean, this is questionable which way. Any way could be top or bottom. This design doesn't really have top or bottom, so it could really go any way. I'm just gonna hold it like this. So yes, so I've showed it recently. Nothing really changed. I should have really like a board or something. You can see my hand here. But anyway, you can see what's going on. I think it's not complicated. So there's these balls, and they're all stitched in black work or white work in this case. And every ball, well, every atom, because they're all atoms, every atom has a different type of design inside. So it's like they're geometrical designs, and every atom will have a different type of geometrical design inside. Okay. So it's just a pretty kind of geeky thing. I like geeky things, so why not? This one I should really have finished already because it's not a lot of stitching. It's actually a very small stitch, and it will only take me a few hours to finish it. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. But hopefully it'll be a finish very soon. I'm hoping to have a few finishes coming in the next month, or 2 months. I should have a few finishes, hopefully. Let's see if that happens. Okay. Well, I leave this one for later, I think. Other projects that I haven't worked on in a while. These are my Christmas projects. So I love Hello from Liz Matthews, and you've probably seen this a lot already because her designs are very popular. But I really love the 12 Days of Christmas series, even though I don't even know the song, because I come from Poland. We don't have that song in Poland, and I really only celebrate Christmas the Polish way. So I hear, like, I know the pop songs, you know, like the Last Christmas and then all that, but I don't know the traditional Christmas songs that people actually sing or used to sing, or I don't know, because I don't celebrate Christmas in English. So I don't know these, but I do like the designs. Actually, it isn't the first. Yeah, it is the first day of Christmas. The first day of Christmas doesn't even look like a Christmassy design, and because I had this lovely purple fabric that I ordered from, I think I ordered it from something for another thing, but then I actually ended up stitching this on it. Sorry, I'm mixing all my words now. I ordered the fabric from, is it Embroidery? Something like this. I actually probably have it in my notebook again. Let me see. My notebook may save me here. So, first day of Christmas. We're getting there. Embroidery Designs. I was close. Okay, Embroidery Designs, 32 count cassis. cassis. There's a drink. I think it's a black currant. It's a crème de cassis. I don't know. My French is horrible. But anyway, but it is. I think it's black currant in French. I think so. I'm not sure. But so, well, I'll show you what it's meant to look like. So for each of these days of Christmas, she gives two options, two different charts. One to stitch it as a rectangle and one as a kind of Christmas tree type of shape. And I decided I'm going to stitch for each day the one that I prefer, basically for that day. And I don't know, it's just because, the reason why is because in this first day of Christmas, I really love the rectangular version, okay? But then I bought it is the second day of Christmas, this one. And the second day of Christmas, I didn't particularly like the rectangular version. I actually like this one better. So I decided I'm just gonna alternate and pick the version which suits me more. They don't all have to be the same. I'm not sure actually how I'm going to finish them. Because there's going to be a lot of them in the end. It's 12, like for now only 6 have been released, but eventually it's going to be 12 and I don't know what I'm going to do with them really, but I just enjoy stitching them. I think they're really pretty designs. And so in this one I didn't really want to stitch the year, and I think, I don't know, there was like this empty space here, and the houses, I don't know, like the houses are on here as well, but they're not as noticeable, I think, I don't know. There was something just that I maybe I should have gone for the rectangular version, but I didn't. So I started stitching the Christmas tree kind of version for this design. I think also pigeons or doves, doves, we had this discussion in my last fluster, but the doves but they do look like pigeons, these ones, honestly they do. But they're bigger in this design, and I don't know, they're kind of more prominent. I don't know, I like this one better for some reason, don't ask me. So this one I'm gonna do a Christmas tree version. But anyway, I was going to show you the first day of Christmas. So the first day of Christmas is that is a partridge on the pear tree, I think. Yeah. And this one I'm doing on this purple fabric, and I don't have the partridge yet. I thought I was further along than this guy. I really thought I was further along, but I've got a long way to go still with this project. But I do love the greens on the leaves. Now I did have some substitutions, and I don't know if that was on the greens. I probably wrote it down if I did. Oh. Maybe it wasn't on this one that I had substitutions. But I felt like I changed something on somewhere. Don't know, but maybe not on this one. I don't have any notes about this, which is not helpful. But so yes, these greens, I think these are the originally charted greens, and I think they're really beautiful, beautiful colors. I think they stand out quite nicely on this fabric, and then I have these two pairs here. I made a boo-boo on this pair. She's got like a black dot, which is not originally charted. That wasn't meant to be black, that was meant to be in this brown color. But then by the time I realized, I think I was fed up, and I was too far along, and then I would have to like cut my thread and frog it and tie my ends, and I just, for one stitch, I could always maybe stitch over it with brown. I don't know, I could try that. But yeah, but for now it's a black dot, which is not meant to be there. That's okay. Pears can have black dots, no? Maybe it's a bug sitting on a pear, I don't know. Why not? So I may just leave it in. Anyway, so this is the first day of Christmas. I think the fabric is 32. I said it. I think I said it from my notebook. No, I lost my notebook, guys. Oh, this is a disaster. Oh, there it is. Okay, so what did I say? 32 count, yes. So it's 32 count. I think they're all 32 count, because I wanted them to be done on the same count, I think. So let me just put this back in here, just so I know where it is. And so the second day, the one with the doves or pigeons, whichever you prefer, I'm stitching this one on this beautiful Murano, the sparkly opalescent, or I don't know what's called, the snow, sparkly snow, whatever. That's the white. Maybe I have it in my notebook, guys, what it's called. But it's a 32 count Murano. It's 5 yard pearl snow. Pearl snow. And I love this fabric so much. Oh my goodness, guys, it's beautiful. Look at the sparkle. I don't know if my camera will pick it up. Here, see the sparkle? Oh, I love the sparkle. Okay, guys, so as you see, this is the Christmas tree version, so it goes like a cone kind of shape. And this one actually, I'm further along. This one, yeah, this one I've got more done than the other one. So I just need to do, well, still quite a bit of stitching, but I just need to do the leaves, and like these are the red berries that are kind of around the branch. And then I have the houses. One thing that I don't like about the houses is they've got initials in. I'm not, first of all, I don't really have anybody, I don't know, like what initials to put in, like what my parents, and I don't know, it's weird. I know, I'm not too keen on that kind of thing. So, and I think I've seen someone on Instagram just do normal houses. They replace the initials with like windows and doors. And well, I should find that picture really and copy what they did. I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I think, yeah, I'm just gonna put like windows and doors in these houses, so they don't look like, I don't know, they don't have the initials in. Well, there's still a fair bit of stitching to be done because you also have this bottom frame kind of thing, but that's okay. That's okay. Like I'm still happy with how much progress I actually have on this. Totally happy with this. Okay. I accidentally swapped the pigeons though, because I think the light one was meant to be this one and the dark one was meant to be this one, but I accidentally swapped them, and that's fine. I think in this one, actually let me just quickly check. Yeah, in this one, that's what happened. I replaced 2 colors, and I think it's the colors that I stitched the pigeons in. It's actually the ones that I replaced. Yeah, so I did kind of my own substitution. I think because I didn't have them in my stash, and I traveled to Poland with this project, and I didn't have time to order floss, so I just picked 2 colors from my stash to do the pigeons in. Okay. I also have, so I haven't bought all of the charts yet for this series, but I also bought the chart for the 5th day of Christmas because that was in stock at that point, and we don't get, in the UK it's actually quite hard to get hold of these charts by Hello from Liz Matthews, but I think now I found that they are available on Peacock Needleworks, so I'll probably order from them next time. I'm still missing 3 of them. But the 5th day of Christmas, I think I had an ambition to stitch all 3 of them last winter, but yeah, that didn't happen. But as a symbolic, again, this is not really a WIP. I don't count this as a WIP. Anyway, this is what it's meant to look like. And this time I'll stitch the rectangular version because I like it. But so this one, I kind of symbolically, I put a few stitches in. Again, this is not a real, it's not even anything. It's like 2 snowflakes. I don't even know, it's like whatever, 20 stitches, whatever it is, I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's same fabric because I love this fabric so much that I was like, okay, I'm gonna use it for both of them. It's very wintry kind of fabric, so I think for these, the ones that have like snowflakes on them, I think I will use this fabric. But if it's something like, you know, like the first day of Christmas is not actually very wintry, and then I think the recent one, I don't know, I need to look closer at it, but it's actually, it's the goose. I think it's a goose. It's a funny word, a goose. I don't but I think that one maybe doesn't have like a very wintry design, so maybe that one I could stitch on some other fabric. I don't know yet. But yeah, so this is what I have so far for this series. I'm just gonna pop it here as well in this box, which is now getting really full. Okay, a few more things. Well, yeah, God, you guys must be very tired. This has been a very long video. I'm really sorry. Oh, just take a break. Come back to it later. Okay, I've got, I'm just going to quickly show you because this is nothing very exciting. When I was in Poland last year, I also started stitching on this kit, which I thought was really cute. is the Sea of Love by, I think it's, oh, I can read Cyrillic, but MP Studios, I think this is what they're called. And I literally just did, well, I did a little bit of stitching on it, but then I stopped. So I didn't get very far, and it doesn't actually look like anything yet. So this is the blue cat, and then there's a white cat here, which is not stitched yet, and a bit of a sky, and a bit of the ship. But yeah, not much, yeah, not very exciting, so I'm just gonna quickly show you this, and I'm gonna go move on to other things. I don't know when I'm gonna stitch on this again, because this is not one of my like favorite projects, not the one that I'm like super excited about, so I'm kind of, I'll put it aside for now, you know. I don't know, one day I'll come back to it, I think. Okay, so what else? Okay, so now I have this kit from Riolis, which is, I can't find the first page to show you guys. I think this is the first page. This one. The Peacock, well, it's not actually called the Peacock, it's called the Eastern Beauty. Eastern Beauty. It's quite a big project, and again, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this, but I'd really love to, because I know some people are interested to see it finished. I mean, I'd love to see it finished one day, because I think this is gonna look beautiful when it's finished. This one, it comes with these wooden bits to be hung on, but the fabric is not actually finished on the edges, which I thought that it would come, if the fabric that will be supplied would actually have finished edges. Sorry guys. I thought the fabric would have finished edges, but it's yeah, it doesn't. So it only gives you instruction for how to finish them, which is terrifying, because I have no idea how to do it, and the instructions seem kind of complicated, so I'm a bit scared of that. But I know of someone, one of my subscribers has let me know that she stitched a similar kit from them, and she just framed it in the end, and she actually sent me a picture of her framed project, and it looked beautiful as well. So an option, if you don't want to finish the edges, is you can frame that. Okay. And it comes with these wool acrylic threads, which are just one strand, like they're not like, what do you call it, like they don't have 6 strands or 4 strands or whatever, they just have one strand, so you don't split them. They look like this. They're kind of fluffy, so they're a bit, you know, different to stitch with. So far they've been alright, but I haven't really done a lot of stitching on it, so I can't really say very much. This is a big, I think this must be 14 count by the looks of it. It's a very big squares. Yeah, so 14 count aida, I think. This very long piece of fabric with not a lot of stitching on it. So I tried starting in the middle, and it took me a while to find out where the middle is on the actual, there's a few pages of the chart, and it was a bit complicated. But I did eventually find the middle, I think, which is around here. And so I did this branch with these lovely flowers. I don't think I finished them yet. I think there's some stitches missing in the middle of the flowers. And then this is just, you can see just the beginning of the peacock emerging. Yeah, I'd love to stitch more on this. I also discovered something I didn't expect when I was looking at the chart, is that part of this, actually a big part of this background is actually stitched. But you can barely see it on the picture. Like this whole, from like here to here, everything is stitched. And I'm thinking, is there a point stitching that background? I mean, it's so similar. The color is so similar to the actual fabric. And I can't remember. I think it's a color that will be a lot of. I don't know. I can't remember which color it was. I'm assuming it's going to be this one. This color. Which is basically almost the same like the fabric. I don't know. It seems like a lot of work for nothing, to be honest. So I may skip that. Like, I may not, if I ever finish this, which I really want to, but it's so far away for now to even think about that. but I may not stitch the background because it just seems a little bit silly. I don't know, it seems very unnecessary, you know, like a lot of effort for nothing, basically. I don't know. Would you stitch it, do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to put it all back so I don't lose anything. Because I find that things become scattered very easily around my room. I put things in different places and then I can never find them. Yeah, so I'm trying to keep things together today. Okay, stick it here. Almost there, guys. Well, there's a few more things, but we're getting there. It's starting to clear up a bit. So this one I can just show you quickly. Oh, actually no, you know what I'm going to show you? I'm going to show you my other peacock, because they're like a pair of peacocks that I'm stitching. But again, not a lot of progress. It's kind of the same as I showed you previously if you've watched my channel previously. So All Feathers is a chart by the Rosewood Manor, which I saw on the Sunshine Stitchers. I think Gary was stitching this one, and it's a beautiful, well, I don't know, it's kind of cute, it's different. I just got really interested in this chart, and so I bought it. I bought it on, initially it was really hard to find in the UK, and I think I said previously that I found it on Patchwork Rabbit, but actually I found this one on Lakeside Needlecrafts, where I wasn't expecting to find this chart, but I think I somehow found it on Google that it was on Lakeside Needlecrafts, and I got very excited. I ordered it. Now they didn't have Sulky, and I can't actually find where you buy Sulky in the UK. I assume you can just order it from like states, like from 1 to 3 Stitch. But I didn't bother. I just ordered, I used a DMC conversion and I just ordered DMC instead. So I'm using just DMC threads, and I don't have a lot. I just have his head, I think, and a bit of one motif, so not a lot. The fabric is Paisley. It's a printed Aida again, which is called Paisley Twirl. Again, it's Fabric Flair, and it's got these paisley motifs. So it's kind of like a bluish, like sky blue with paisley, white paisley motifs. They're quite subtle actually. And then there's the peacock. Sorry guys, I needed to take a little tiny break because I started coughing. I think I've been talking too much, and even I can't handle it. So you guys, I don't know how you're handling it. Are you still there? I don't know. But the peacock, yeah. And I think the count of the fabric is 18. Yeah, it's 18 count Aida. I think it's a cutie, but there's not much to see yet. It's just a small start. Okay. I love this needle minder though. It's so shiny. Again, if you see any needle minders you like, most of them will come from either Just So Heavenly or Denkai Designs. I will link, I think, all the main needle minder shops that I remember that I bought from. I will put at least their names in the description below, and I'll try to link them if I can. Yes, but so this one is done. Okay, so let me just put this one. This one was here actually. What else do I have? Okay. Okay, so I was going to show you quickly this one. Again, not a lot of stitching on this one, so just very briefly. This is the Seahorse by Leslie Tier, I think. Yes, Leslie Tier. I'll put here what it's meant to look like when it's finished. I hope I've been doing this. I kind of forgot about that. But yes, hopefully I did it for most of the projects. So the Seahorse, I'm stitching it on beautiful fabric. It's an opalescent Aida, I believe in 16 count, that I got from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. And yeah, it's beautiful and sparkly, and it looks like the sea. Okay, it really looks like you're under the sea. Oh yeah, there's a little tag here. Opalescent Aida 16. Yeah, I don't think it's got a name, because I think, I don't know, maybe it does have a name, but I don't know what the name is. But I think her fabrics are kind of one of a kind. She's got an Etsy store, and it's kind of whatever is available. I'm not sure if they, I think everyone is slightly unique. I don't know. That's what it seems like to me. Yeah, but anyway, so the Seahorse is in the middle, but again, there's not much to see. I think this is where his head is meant to be. yeah, but literally there isn't much. But the colors are lovely. I love these blues. I love stitching in these deep, very bright blues. They're my favorite kind of blue. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to stitching on this one. Oh, I've got some flosses here. Like, you know, I sometimes put flosses. I keep my flosses in floss away bags, and I tend to. I try not to buy too many flosses of the same color. I just move them between different projects, and sometimes I forget that I leave my flosses somewhere, and then I buy another one, and then I end up having a lot of the same floss. This one actually has craning in it as well. I'm just looking because there's this beautiful peacocky craning as well that comes in this one. It's a beautiful one. Okay. And there's some other craning as well. And there's some beads. Also very peacocky kind of beads. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing this one finished. Honestly, this is one of the projects I'm actually very excited about. So I should really get stitching on that. Okay. Now, something that's coming close to a finish, I think. I mean, there's still quite a few stitches I need to do, but I made a lot of progress on this one last week. It's my watercolor heart by the Little Room in the Attic. So again, the lovely designer, Maria from the little Room in the Attic. She does these watercolor designs. I've done a lot of cross stitching now, and I still have, so basically this is what it's meant to look like when it's finished. And this is what I have. So I've done most of the hummingbird except for the wing, like the blue part of the wing here. So the pink flower is finished. All this side of the heart is finished. But I'm missing, so I'm missing some pink stitches here, and there's a big pink flower here, which I'm missing, and another one here. So I'm missing these two pink flowers. But it's getting quite close to at least being finished with all the cross stitching. And then after that, there's quite a bit of back stitch on it in different colors. I don't know how much you can see. The light is kind of funny. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Yeah, but I think this is actually going to be quite pretty when it's done. I really believe that. And I'm quite enjoying stitching on it, though it's quite a lot of effort because there's a lot of color changes. There's a lot of blends. I don't like blends so much, but you know, they have to be done sometimes. But yeah, so it's quite a lot of effort, you know, lots of colors. But I think it will be worth it. But then also it's quite difficult, like the counting, you have to count really carefully, and then I make mistakes, I have to frog, and you know, it slows me down a bit. Yeah. But it's stitched on, it's just Murano. I think it's lilac Murano, so 32 count, 2/2, it's the usual. Okay, I don't think, so I expect that this actually, I should be able to finish relatively soon. And I'd really love to finish it relatively soon. I actually wanted to give it to someone, if I like it. Again, so I need to see the finished project, like the product, the finished then. I'm getting tired, guys. I need to see the final product to see if I want to give it to someone or if I'd rather keep it for myself. Like, it depends how much I like it and how much I think that person will like it. But for now, I still like to, I think I would like to give it away. So yes, I'd like to finish it relatively soon. Okay, this is getting too full to manage. Okay, so I'll put it here. I've got my Heartfelt stitch along, which is just a stitch along that you may have heard of. I think quite a few people are stitching this. It's for foundation, Make-A-Wish foundation. It's organized by the Fat Quarter Shop, and also I think they designed it, or someone who works with them designed it. I'm not sure who designed it actually, but it's from Fat Quarter Shop. And I'm stitching it, so I'll put a picture here of what the finished design is meant to look like. And basically every column is released 1 month, and I haven't done the June part yet. I've done the May part and I haven't done the June one. So I just have 2 months left to be done. So this is what I have. Okay, so no progress since the last floss tube on this. It kind of looks the same as it did before. But I'd like to do next month, because I kind of want to get it finished as well. So I only need, so I could finish it in July, really, if I put my mind to it, if I stitch it. No, every column takes kind of a few evenings, or like, you know, if I stitch like a whole day, I could get a column done probably on most of the columns, so maybe a couple days. But so you know, maybe if I put my mind to it, I could finish it in July, so that would be another finish to have, so that would be really good. So that's the plan. Then I have this silly little project which I showed last time. Again, I have no progress on this, and I'm not sure when I'll have progress on this, because this is just something that I'm improvising with from my own. I'm designing it. Designing it. That's a very big word to use. I'm just trying to stitch something from my own mind, but it's not going like it's not amazing. So this is kind of experimental, so I'm not sure when that's gonna go or how it's gonna go, but it's this little daffodil. I was thinking about making like a little daffodil biscornu kind of thing. So I have this daffodil, it's got like beads in the middle, and it's got quite a bit of back stitch. Yeah, it's a bit silly, but it's also, I guess it's a WIP, so I thought I'll show it. Even though it's not a proper WIP, it's just an experimental WIP. And I don't know, I may give up on it at some point, I don't know. But I'll keep stitching for now and see what happens, well, when I feel like it, really. But yes, so it's something, I'm also using it to stitch along. So again, Crisscross Stitch has this lovely stitch along going on, which is Mary Will's sal. And that's daffodil stitching, so I thought that would fit well with that sal as well. Yeah, but so if you want to hear more about that, go to my last floss tube, because I go into detail about some of that, like the watercolor heart and this project and my Heartfelt sal. I talked about it last time. So if you haven't seen my last floss tube, please go and have a look. Also there's a giveaway at the end, so if you want to enter the giveaway, please see my last floss tube, because I'll be fine. What's the word? picking the winners. Well, I'll only be picking the winners of that giveaway before I record my next floss tube, and that's not going to be at least for another 2 weeks, possibly 3, because I realize I'm away next weekend and I'm not sure how much stitching I'll be able to get done in the coming couple weeks. So if I don't get a lot of stitching done, I may wait another week. But if I do get enough stitching to show, then there may be a floss tube in 2 weeks. So I recommend you watch that last video if you haven't, and if you want to, if you're interested in seeing what the giveaway is, if you want to enter, then please go back to my previous floss tube. I've got a playlist of all my floss tube videos, and you're welcome to have a look at any of them. Yeah, I don't know, they're a bit silly, but you may find something interesting in them. I don't know. Okay. So honestly, we're almost there, guys. Now, the 2 projects that I've been working on the past few days, well, actually 3 projects but one is a surprise. But so one project that I've been working on, and I'm getting really close to finishing it. I think I'm about like 700 stitches away from finishing, which is not a lot, honestly. 700 stitches is like, you know, just a few hours, so I'm almost there. It's Mary Amelia's bird, which again I discussed in my last floss tube and previous floss tube, so I'm not going to like discuss everything in detail, but it's designed by Quaint Rose Needle Arts, and it's like a reproduction piece of a bird. I'll put a picture here of what it's meant to look like when it's finished, and it's a super cute design which I really love. I'm using DMCs, mostly the called for ones, but also I substituted a few of them for whatever I had in my stash, or if there was a color that I preferred. So this is what I have. Look at that bird. Isn't she looking gorgeous? Or he, I don't know, he or she. It's usually the males that are more colorful, I think, so maybe it's a male. But he looks so pretty. Now, there was a question about what type of bird is this. So again, my subscriber Tanya the one who was telling me about the Riolis kit, and Tanya was asking me if this is a bullfinch. Now I couldn't answer her, but recently I saw another chart. I saw a chart from the Owl Forest Embroidery, which had birds that look very, very similar to these. It was called bullfinches. So I'm starting to think Tanya may be right, that this actually is some type of a bullfinch. But it's kind of hard to say, because when I Google bullfinch, a lot of them have like dark wings. But then on the Owl Forest Embroidery, they also have bright wings. So maybe there's different type of bullfinches, and maybe it's like the way the light reflects from their wings. I'm not sure. We don't have bullfinches here where I live. And in Poland, we also don't have them. So I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a bullfinch in real life. So I'm not sure. But it's so pretty. I love this one. I can't stop looking at this one. This is one of my favorite projects. Maybe it is my favorite project, actually. I'm not sure. But I love it. And it is a gift. This one will be a gift. So yes, I just need to finish it. Not so long to go. And then I'll probably like frame it in like a round frame, I think. And then I'll give it to my work colleague, who has been very, very supportive to me, and I just wanted to say thank you. And I think this is a really, really beautiful piece. So I think it'll be a really lovely gift. Like, I would be really happy if someone gave me that. Don't know. If they made it for me, I think I'd be pretty happy. But then I don't know. Maybe she'll be like, oh, what is this? Right. Okay, let me just put this here. Okay. So, let me actually put it here. Okay. So the second project I was working on it this morning. It's the famous doves. It's Love is in the Air by the Cottage Garden Samplings. Okay. This one, I love this design. I love Cottage Garden Samplings designs. I think they're so cute. They're simple, but I don't know, there's just something about them that I really, really love. And I think this one in particular, because I'm getting married, because I got engaged not so long ago, I thought it was just really like suiting the time in my life, and I felt really strongly that I should be stitching it right now. I wanted to stitch it on blue. And I'm not sure if this is exactly the kind of blue that I wanted. But I am stitching it on the 32 count Murano. You may see a theme. I stitch a lot of things on 32 count Murano because I like even weave, because it's easier to stitch on than linen, and it's because I like the stitches to be a bit more even. And some of the linens can have these big lumps, and some of the threads are thicker, some are thinner, and sometimes I like that, but sometimes I just want it to be nice and even. And I think Murano is a really nice texture, kind of. I don't know. I like how it looks. So it's quite dark blue. I think I wanted slightly lighter blue, but it ended up being this one. I think it's actually called dark blue, but on the picture it didn't look that dark, so I thought it would be fine. And I think it's maybe not the darkness of it, but it looks a bit grey. I think that's the issue. It's not like bright blue, but it's kind of grey blue. But anyway, let me show you. So this is the fabric I'm using. Okay. So it doesn't look that dark, but I guess it's just because it's so kind of grayish, and I was expecting it to be a brighter blue. But I think it'll be alright in the end. So I finished doing the contours of the second bird now. And I started because I was curious. I wanted to see what it will look like when it's filled. Mostly because I wasn't quite sure about the color of the contour. So I'm using mostly DMC. So the Cottage Garden Samplings, they give you multiple options. So they give you the kind of a mixture. I think originally this is meant to be a mixture of DMC and Gentle Art sampler threads. I couldn't get hold of the Gentle Art threads, and anyway, I just like stitching with DMC. But then I did buy some, just because I was already buying other things, I did buy some Weeks Dye Works threads, which I used in the heart. but they're not what was originally charted. This is just some random pink threads that I decided to buy without really knowing what they're gonna look like. But so this is very kind of improvised. It wasn't planned, and it's just, you know, I found these threads, I bought them, I stitched them, and it's alright, you know. Maybe not perfect colors. I mean, I think this one is alright, but I'm not convinced about this color so much. But it is what it is, and I think it's actually looking decent now. The birds, yes, the doves. So yes, I wasn't convinced. So this is stitched, the outline is stitched in 842, I think, DMC. But this is the alternative. So the design actually called for Pebble Gentle Art thread, and I didn't have that, so I just used the DMC conversion. But it looks quite different to what's actually printed on the design. This looks more grey. The outline looks a bit more grey. So then I thought, oh, I should have just picked a grey. But I was following the chart actually. But I was a bit worried that it looks very beige. But I think once it's filled, this is actually looking quite nice. So I think once it's filled, it'll be fine. It's just like by itself, it looks like it's the wrong color. But I think it will be fine when the doves are filled in. And the key, I changed the color. So originally it was charted to be this dark brown, but I changed it to this kind of golden yellow because I liked it more. And I think I changed the greens as well, because they were kind of dull on the original design, and I changed them to like brighter greens that I liked more. Okay, so there's quite a lot of changes I made to the original threads, but I do love the actual design, like the chart, the birds and the heart and the key and the little flowers around it. I think it's super cute. Maybe like I wanted to change the colors, but I love the original, like the design. Okay. Right, so that's this one. So now, finally, I have a new start. And this one I wanted to start because I felt that this was something important to me. So I saw it on some other channels, basically. Some other creators shared it on their channels. The Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery released a new chart for the Pride Month. And he released it also the hashtag MFE, so Modern Folk Embroidery, MFE Pride Sal. I think that's what the hashtag is, on Instagram, so you can see other people stitching it. And so basically the idea is that over the summer months, people can stitch this design together, and I will insert a picture here of what it looks like. Actually, there are two versions. I will insert the colorful version first, and then there's also the monochrome version, so I will also insert that here. And so initially I was like, oh, I'm not sure, but then I thought it was something that's important to me because some of the most wonderful, amazing, intelligent, creative people that I met in my life belong to the LGBTQ plus community. And because I always, for me, one of the most important things in life is that every human being, no matter what color of skin they are, or what religion or what sexual orientation, anything, every human being should be treated equally. That's super important to me, and so I kind of feel like I really want to join in, and especially I saw all the bright colors, and I thought, oh, it's so cool, you know. I love the colors, I love the idea, so I decided, okay, I'm gonna join the stitch along. I'm gonna stitch this. But I decided I didn't like the middle of the design, the original, from the colorful version. I like the middle from the monochrome version, but then I like the colors from the, you know, all the like colors around the middle, from the colorful version. So I decided, why don't I combine it? And so the way I'm stitching it, I'm stitching everything around the middle. I'm stitching from the colorful version, and then the middle, I actually stitched the middle already, stitched from the monochrome version, but I stitched it in rainbow thread. So I think this is so cool. So my middle is stitched in the rainbow thread. It says move forward in love. You can't maybe see it quite clearly, but it doesn't matter. It's colorful and cool and cute, so I don't care. Yeah, but so the middle, I know you can only see part of the design so far, but I think it's going to be pretty cool when it's finished, and it's more like a statement. And I'm also like kind of I'm stitching it thinking of all my friends, all the important people to me, you know, that I want to celebrate that Pride Month with them. So I will try and do some more stitching on it this month and also over the summer months, just to kind of unite with everybody else stitching for that reason. What else do I want to say? So the rainbow thread I got off Etsy. I got it from, I can't remember the seller name, but I got the thread itself is actually just distributed by the seller. It's not dyed by the seller. It's this one. So Fred works. Fred Ward. Fred Ward X. I can't say it. Fred works with an X at the end. And never mind, guys. So just Google it. But yeah, but it's this rainbowy thread. It's so cool. I love it so much. I absolutely love this thread. Yeah, so that's fun to stitch with, definitely. I kind of thought it would be cool to have like a design, like a monochrome design, stitched completely with this thread. I think that would be so fun. Yeah, so yeah, maybe one day for another Pride Month, maybe I'll do that. Okay, where did I take it from? Here, right. Okay, so I'm gonna put this away. Talking of Pride Month, now this is not cross stitch, so this is not really related, but I've been stitching on my rainbow Gogh, crocheting, sorry, so I do a tiny bit of crochet, but I'm really bad at crochet, so I don't really do very much of it. But my friend, who is by the way, she's got a wife, she got married to a lady, she asked me, because she saw that in the past I made by crochet, I made a rainbow giraffe, and she asked me if I could make her a rainbow goat, because she really likes goats. So I found this chart, but there's 3 different options for the goat, and I started with the goat that's sitting down, but also there's an option for a goat that's like standing on 4 legs, and I think that would be really cute as well. But I started with the one that's sitting down, and I think I showed on one of my recent floss tube, I showed you what I had. I started stitching on the head, but I wasn't too keen on the wool that I was using, and then I tried to attach the nose, and it was very wonky, and I just didn't love. I think it was the colors of the wool and the feel of that wool, and it was kind of hard to stitch with. So in the end, I ordered a different wool, and I'm so much happier, guys, so much happier. I just wanted to share that with you, in case if you do crochet, this wool, there's different colors of this, by the way, so this is just one variation. It's called Party Time Chunky by James C. Brett, and I think this is the wool that was actually that I stitched my giraffe with, but that one came as a kit from the Wee Woolly Wonderful, so I wasn't sure, but I think I remember seeing that label on it, but I was completely new to crochet, so I wouldn't know. But that was the one which is a bit more rainbowy with the yellow, but I really like this shade as well. And so I don't have my goat yet, but I have different parts of it. This time I didn't start with the head, because I didn't want to like straight away do another head, so I was like, no, I'm gonna start with a different part this time. So I have my bottom, which is not, I haven't filled it yet. I'm kind of using it to keep all the other parts inside. So I've got my bottom of the goat, and I've got like different parts. So far I've got like, I think these are arms, and I've got legs as well. legs, and I've got the tail and the nose, but I still don't have a head. I've got a nose. And then this morning I did the horns. So I've got the horns, which I was kind of putting in my head, and I thought that looks kind of like fun. Anyway, guys, I'm losing it. It's almost 2 hours, guys. That's ridiculous. I hope you're still there. I hope you're enjoying this. Honestly, you can like maybe like you know what I do with long videos? I just split them. I watch a bit one day and then a bit another day, and it's kind of fun this way as well. But anyway, I don't know if anybody's actually gonna watch this far. Okay, but yeah, so that's another thing I've been working on. And then I told you I was being very cheeky, and I did put a few stitches and a few other things which I wasn't supposed to do because I wasn't supposed to have any new starts. But I was bad a couple days. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm so worried to admit it to you guys. Like I'm like, it's almost like I committed a crime, or like, you know, if it like kind of anonymous addicts kind of group where I'm afraid to admit that I started something new, you know. I gave in to the craving, you know, and I put some stitches in a new project and well, in a few new projects actually, and it's just because I have a massive pile of things I really want to stitch, and I realized that it would take time before I finish enough things that I can actually start all of these things that I want. And sometimes I just have these moments of weakness. I'm like, I'm just gonna put a few stitches and nobody will know. But anyway, one thing I'll just briefly because I want to let you guys go. But one thing I showed you last time that I bought was this chart by Fabric, which was released just this Nashville market, so just whenever that was, in spring, I think. So it's a very recent release, and I love this one so much. I've seen the model stitched on YouTube video from Kathy and Liz Matthews, because they're mother and daughter, and it looked gorgeous. And now I'm not planning to stitch it so there's two versions of this, and the simpler version doesn't have the moon names. So this is called the Moons of 2022, and it's got names of a moon for each month. I'm not going to stitch that middle part. There is a chart actually provided by Fabric, which is a combination. You have the top part and the bottom part kind of joined together. But also, because I really like these ziggy-zaggy things on the side, I'd love to put them on the side of the chart. And so I looked at the stitch count, and it works out, I think that these two parts together are 150 stitches tall. And these ziggy-zaggy things, I think, are 170 stitches tall. So they're gonna be slightly like 10 stitches on each side over, which I think should be fine. So I'm going to I think that's what I'm going to do, and I actually started it, so now it's too late. But I'm going to put the ziggy-zaggy things on the side of that smaller design. And again, just a very quick, so I only started, you know, I didn't spend a lot of time on this. This is again 32 count Murano, and it's just white, so very boring. And I just started on one of these ziggy-zaggy things. And this is what I have. So this will be like this. This will be on the side. And I think this is gonna be gorgeous. I already know this is gonna be gorgeous. I'm so excited about this one, guys. But then I put it aside and I didn't touch it, you know, because I had all the other projects to work on, but I just wanted to start it. I couldn't help myself, guys. I couldn't help myself. But I think this will be so beautiful. I can't wait to stitch on this, honestly. Oh, the excitement. Okay. I love Kathy Barrick's design. I think this is the only one I have so far, but there's so many of her designs I really want to stitch. Yeah, she's got lots of beautiful designs, guys. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, so that's that. Gonna put it together. And then something else I showed you last time that I would really love to stitch, and again I just put a few cheeky stitches in, is this rooster from a Ukrainian designer. So I kind of wanted to do the stitch for Ukraine thing, So I bought the chart from the Ukrainian designer Nonstop Stitch on Etsy. And this is a rooster with poppies. And I think it's so fun. It's so colorful and so beautiful. But I only put a few stitches. So this is probably 30. I don't even remember what this is. Oh no, this is actually 28 count. Thank God. I actually have the label. Because I got this from Patchwork Rabbit. It's 28 count. Oh, I don't know how to say this word. Taupe? I don't know. But it's Brittany Lugana. I was really curious. I've never stitched on Lugana. And I was like, oh, I want to try stitching on Lugana. So it's Brittany Lugana in color that I can't pronounce. Taupe. Anyway, that's what it is. And this is just a bit of the tail. I don't even know which way this is going. I don't know, guys. Yeah, but anyway, just a few stitches. But I guess it's a WIP now, so I have to show you. Okay. And another thing. I was thinking about my mom and how she loves. I think I saw someone showed a chart which was like a teacup chart, and that made me think of my mom, and that made me think, oh, I wonder what other cross-stitch charts are out there that have teacups on them, because my mom, she loves cups. She loves pretty dishes, pretty things like cups, teacups, plates, pretty kitchen things. And she collects them. She has so many, and she can never have enough. And whenever we pass an antique store or market or whatever, and she sees these like little antique teacups or something, she gets very excited. And she wants to buy them all, basically. And I looked, and I found this kit. There's actually 3 different kits, which all have teacups on them from this company. But I think I like this one the most. And I thought maybe if I like it, then one day I can stitch one of the other ones as well. But I thought that would be so cool to give to my mom, like to hang in her kitchen or dining room or somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, but it's a kit by Lucas. This one. Okay. So, yeah, and I think it's called... What's it called? Cups. It's not called cups. What am I saying? Teacups. I don't know. Turquoise themed teacups. That's what it's called. But here's the teacups, guys. Okay. And so I ordered it through Etsy, and it arrived like next day. And that straight away, I took it to bed in the evening. I was tired after work, so I sat in bed and I put a few stitches. I did that. I couldn't help myself. So this is part of one teacup, and the middle one, because I start in the middle. That's the thing I wanted to say, but I'll tell you on the next floss tube. But I have to start in the middle, because if I don't start in the middle, bad things happen. But anyway, so I tend to always start in the middle, with very rare exceptions. So the middle, I think, was somewhere here. I don't know. So it's probably part of, I think it's part, what I stitch is actually part of this teacup. Anyway, you can't really see it. Part of it is white, so you can't really see it, but it's like a light blue fabric, which is 16 count Aida. So it's like light, very light blue. 16 count Aida. There's nothing here to see really, but just wanted to show it as evidence that I've been bad and I started new things. And I wanted to say something else. Oh yes, they use anchor threads in this kit. Okay. It's not all. I mean, this is, I don't want to admit it. So there's one more thing I started, which is also ridiculous. I literally put a few stitches in. I put it away. I'm like, I'm not doing it because I don't want to start new things, but I still started it. So it still counts as a WIP. The very last project I have, because this is having the last thing that I started, is something that I started because it's been sitting in my stash for so long, and I've been wanting to start it so much, and I never do because I never have time to stitch it. that I wanted to at least just start it a little bit, just so it doesn't just sit in my stash and it's not started. Because this is one of the very first projects that I wanted to stitch. I think when I first got into stitching, like, you know, but at the time when I got my Fairytale on the Rooftops kit and the Modern Folk embroidery, around that time I also saw on one of the floss tubes, someone went through from one of the magazines. It was an old floss tube from years ago. Someone was flipping through a magazine and there was a world map in that magazine. And there was also a UK map in like, which I found later, that there's also like, it was a series, there was a world map and there was like a map of the UK as well. Which I'm going to try and enter a picture here, insert a picture so you can see the world map, and maybe the UK map as well. But I just thought they're so cute, and I feel like I'd love to have a map like that on my wall. Like, I'd really love to have a map stitched, you know, it's so cute, and I don't know. So then I got really excited about it then, and I even bought myself a piece of fabric. I wanted to make it like an old kind of looking map, but with just cute things on it. So I got myself like a raw linen, so it's like dark fabric, it's not like bright blue. Yeah, so it looks kind of different, and I wasn't sure what it's going to look like, but I wanted to try it. Maybe it's not going to look good, I don't know. But I thought I'd like to try and stitch it on like darker linen. And yeah, I got myself this, I bought myself flosses, and I was all ready to go. I even got myself a matching needle minder, and then I never started it. And it's been over a year. And I got frustrated, and I was like, I'm just gonna put a few stitches in. I don't care that it's another start, that it's another WIP, and I don't have time to stitch it, but just a tiny start, and it is tiny. It's so tiny, it's not even really a start, so maybe it doesn't count. But there it is. This is a bit of Africa. I don't even know if this is the right way up. But it is the middle again. So I'm starting in the middle of the fabric, and this is some bit of Africa. This is where, yeah, I think this is because there's a sea here. There's like where the Africa, where it goes like this. Yeah, it's got like a little corner. So I think this is like this corner bit of Africa. Anyway, I had to admit it. I had to say that I've done it. And just wanted to show you because I think this is such a cool design. I think it's really cute. I got, just in case if you're maybe not sure how to get these kind of designs from the past issues of magazines, there's an app that's called Pocket Mags. They've got a website. You can go on their website, Pocket Mags. There's probably other websites like this, but that's the one that I found. And there you can just download, you can buy a single issue of a past magazine, and they've got lots of different magazines, and they've got the World of Cross Stitching, and there's the other, I can't remember which magazine that came from, I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, you can just find that back issue of the magazine that you need, and then you just buy that one issue, and then you can download it and then do it from there. So that's what I did. But also you can get old magazines sometimes on eBay, but sometimes it's hard to find that specific issue that you're after. Okay, this is it. And we're at 2 hours. Maybe I'll try and split this video into 2. I don't know. Maybe I should. Nobody's gonna watch 2 hours of me talking. This is such a bad idea. I knew it was gonna end like this with me and chatting and stitching. I love chatting about stitching. Okay. Anyway, guys, I hope, I don't know. Well, I don't think anybody watched to this moment. I think this is now just me talking to myself. But if you are there, hello. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed my very long WIP parade and a very messy and chaotic one, but thank you so much for keeping me company. I had so much fun. I feel much more relaxed now. It was really good, really good. Yeah, I don't know if I will split this video into 2. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to think about this. But okay, I'm gonna go now because I can't even speak anymore. I can't feel my voice anymore. And you guys need to go. Go and do other things. It was lovely chatting with you. If you by some chance like this video, I don't know why you would, but if you like this video by some chance, then I would appreciate a thumbs up on your way out, or you don't have to, you can even give me thumbs down if that's what you feel. And if you're not subscribing yet, but you stayed through 2 hours of this, then you may want to subscribe. I do post diamond painting videos. But I think now it seems to be like I post maybe one diamond painting video and then one cross stitch video, but it can be variable. It's very hard to say. But I do, like, I don't know, I have a playlist of floss tubes, if that makes it easy to filter for my videos, and just find the ones relating to stitching if that's what you're interested in. Yeah, but I don't know. I hope you find something interesting on my channel. If you do, then yeah, consider subscribing, because that would be fantastic. Yeah, and I think that's it. Have a lovely day, lovely night, wherever you are in the world. Keep stitching, crafting, diamond painting, crocheting, knitting, whatever it is that you do. But enjoy your crafts, you know, just yeah, because crafting is so fun. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!